VeChain is one of the few cryptocurrencies that is solving a unique, real-world problem and has a working, ready-to-go solution right now. Hey guys, my name is Mesh, hope you're doing well, and in this video we're going to be talking about one of my favorite altcoins, VeChain, and more importantly its native asset, VET. Before we get into the video, I want to remind you to hit that like button and also hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the video. So I actually talked about VeChain twice on this channel. The first time was in this video right here, top 4 undervalued altcoins you don't want to miss. And I posted this video January 20th of 2021. And at the time, VeChain was actually trading at about 2.9 cents, and currently it's trading at about 8.7 cents. So clearly it's come a long way since the start of the year, but I do still think that it has so much more potential to grow. And I'm going to actually be giving you a price target or like a price prediction for this year by the end of the video. So make sure you stick around until then. Anyways, what is VeChain? So in a nutshell, VeChain allows companies and manufacturers to store the entire supply chain process of a product onto the blockchain. And I know that probably sounds super confusing, so I'm going to explain what that means. So let's say you're a shoe manufacturer, and for every shoe that you create in a factory, you give it a unique ID, kind of like a serial number, and you also put a QR code onto that shoe that references that ID. And at the same time, you create a record for every shoe on the blockchain. And that record stores all sorts of information about that shoe that can be publicly accessed and is available to anybody that scans the QR code on that shoe. So for instance, let's say you send that shoe to a shipping company, and the shipping company moves that shoe from one destination to another, and then the shoe is picked up again and finally sent to a retail store. That entire process would be stored onto the blockchain, including information like where the shoe has been, the shipping companies that shipped the shoe, and also the retail stores that acquired the shoe. And now anybody, including the end customer at the retail store looking to buy the shoe, can scan the QR code with their phone and see all this information about the shoe. And the reason this is so powerful and just such an amazing thing to have is that firstly, it stops counterfeiting. And a huge problem that many companies face right now is counterfeits. And counterfeits actually cost companies hundreds of millions of dollars every year. And so there is a huge financial incentive for companies to adopt a solution like this. And as of now, VeChain is one of the only products that is actually solving this kind of problem, or at least the only cryptocurrency with a working solution. And there are actually already so many companies that are partnering up with VeChain, it's actually mind-blowing. And I'll be talking about VeChain's partners later on in this video. Anyways, besides counterfeiting, another reason why this is so powerful is that let's say you care about where your food came from and you want to know where it originated from and the kind of conditions your food was stored in as it was making its way to the grocery store. Well, VeChain allows companies to track this information and also put information like the temperature of the shipping parcel that the food item was shipped in. So imagine you're at a grocery store and you pick up a food product and scan the QR code, and all of a sudden you have all of this information that you know is legitimate because the blockchain is immutable and cannot be altered. So that is just a really powerful thing. Now, like I said earlier, VeChain is partnered with so many companies, it's actually crazy. I think it might have the most partnerships in the top 100 besides maybe Chainlink. So here's a visual representation of all of the companies that VeChain is partnered with, and as you can see, it is quite a lot. And some of the notable ones that stand out are H&M, Walmart, Amazon AWS, BMW, PwC, and they're also partnered with literally the country China. So that is obviously a really big deal and shows that VeChain actually has real utility and is not just an all talk kind of cryptocurrency. They actually have a product that is ready to be used. And another thing that I really like about VeChain is that it's so unique. So if you take a look at CoinMarketCap right now, the majority of the cryptocurrencies on this site are either working on things like DeFi, NFTs, or even providing a blockchain for smart contracts. But VeChain is doing something completely different and is working with supply chain, which, like I said, not many cryptocurrencies are doing. And it's just so very unique. So now I want to talk about VET and VeTho. So you may have noticed that VeChain actually has two cryptocurrencies, not just one. So what's up with that? So like I talked about earlier, VeChain has its own blockchain called VeChain Thor. And actually that blockchain also supports smart contracts like Cardano's blockchain, Ethereum's blockchain, and Binance's blockchain. So it can actually handle dApps as well. And VeChain created a cryptocurrency called VeTho, which is the gas or the coin that you use to pay for the fees on that blockchain. And VET is the value cryptocurrency. So for investors looking to invest in VeChain, you would purchase VET, VET. And the reason why they have two cryptocurrencies as opposed to one is because they want to keep the price of fees relatively low when interacting with the VeChain Thor blockchain. So if you take a look at Ethereum right now, Ethereum is struggling with a fee problem, a transaction fee problem, and that's because ETH is used to pay for the transaction fees. And so as ETH becomes more and more valuable, the price of those fees also increases with it. And VeChain decided to solve that problem by creating two distinct cryptocurrencies. Like I said, one of them is the value coin that investors like you and I invest in, and the other one is supposed to be a coin that stays relatively stable and is used to pay for the network fees. And the really cool thing is that when you stake your VET, you actually get VeTho as rewards rather than VET. And this not only helps produce VeTho, but it also keeps the supply of VET limited, which as an investor is a really good thing, because a limited supply means that the price can increase and not be hurt by inflation. So unlike Ethereum in the past, now it's kind of solved that problem. Ethereum had an almost infinite supply, and that kind of made some investors worried, because something with an infinite supply, if there happens to be a huge supply increase, the value of each coin would drop a lot. So the fact that VET is limited in supply is a very good thing. Now, since VeChain is partnered with so many companies and is actively being adopted and used, and like I said, has a working solution, I do think that the price of VET will continue to increase as more and more companies start to adopt VeChain. And again, that's due to the network effect and due to the limited supply of VET. So VET currently has a market cap of 5.7 billion. And I believe that near the end of this cycle, VET will be easily able to achieve a $20 billion market cap. And for reference, the coins that have about a $20 billion market cap are Uniswap, XRP, although Uniswap is at 15 billion, Litecoin is at 13 billion, XRP is at 26 billion, and Polkadot is at about 35 billion. And the market caps of all these projects is likely to increase as well. So for example, Polkadot's market cap is likely not going to be 35 billion near the end of the cycle and will probably be something a lot higher. And so now a $20 billion market cap for VeChain makes a lot of sense. So we can determine what the price of VET will be if it had a $20 billion market cap by taking 20, dividing it by 5.7, which gives us our multiplier, which is at about 3.5, and then multiplying it by the price of VET. And that would give us a 30.5 cent VET. So I do believe that by the end of this cycle, VeChain will be able to achieve a 30 cent valuation. And I do not actually think that that price will likely be sustainable. I think that's just a end of cycle price, and VET's price will likely come down a lot during the bear market. But in terms of the end of the bull market, I think a 30 cent VET is very possible and very much on the table. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, and also, like I said, make sure to hit subscribe. And I do have a Discord server you can join down in the description below. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.